on your smart speakers. And as always, on a Monday night, we've got a busy hour ahead of us with a look back on a weekend of Pembrokeshire football action that saw Hakin's impressive cup run end at home to Holywell. Goodwick and Neyland gain wins, and delight for Narberth, as we heard in the first hour, as they picked up a long overdue victory. We'll look back on the weekend's rugby with Wales edging home against the Pumas and reflect on more brilliance of England's one-day cricketers. And we might mention Cristiano Ronaldo as well. But we're going to be busy because we've got two top guests on the show, as Ryan Thomas joins us to talk about an incredible achievement of completing his 10th Ironman Wales earlier this year. And with 1 week to go until the World Cup, Di Reese from the Coleman Had a Dream podcast joins us just ahead of flying out to Qatar for the tournaments. That is all to come on Pure West Sport this evening. Let's say good evening to my co-hosts who are all raring to go, especially Gordon Thomas in the studio in Haverfordwest. Really fired up tonight. How you doing, Gordon? All right?
I'm very good, Ben. I was at the Obs on Saturday, and there was a really good crowd there. It was lovely to see. But unfortunately, Hakin couldn't rise to the big occasion. Holywell Town were very well. They were a slick outfit. 3-0 up at the interval, and it was always an uphill task for Scott Davis's team. But where credit is due, they've had a great cup run, and lo and behold, they got the FAW trophy this Saturday at the Oaks as well. So it isn't all over for Hakin.
The big games keep coming, but you're right, Gordon. Good to hear a big crowd with there, because it was well promoted, wasn't it? And people were really encouraged to go along. So that's good that Hakin got the support, because that's a big occasion against Holywell, wasn't it?
Of course it is. I mean, the Welsh Cup is the biggest cup in Welsh football, to be fair, and for Hakin of Tier 5 to get down to the last 32, had they won, it would have been the last 16. It's all credit to him. And the community came out and everybody enjoyed the occasion. Unfortunately, we didn't all enjoy the result.
No, but well done, Hakin. Absolutely brilliant. We are straight into it this evening. Fraser Watson, evening to you. How are you?
Yeah, very good, Ben. Had the Shanrian Cricket Awards evening on Friday night, or the Fraser Watson Awards, as the second team section was known as, and then worked on the weekend, and I was enjoying a quiet night. I thought it would be last night. I was putting my first Formula One race into Abu Dhabi, and what happened yesterday? Verstappen and Hamilton collided. So yeah.
Well, Fraser, now you've mentioned it, there's no need to be modest. How did you get on at the end of season awards?
Yes, yeah, I picked it. Player of the year and batsman of the year, not bowler of the year. Missed out that. I'll have to work on that next year. But
I thought you were a wicket keeper. Yeah, bowler of the year.
Exactly. You can't win them all. But no, enjoyable night, to be fair. Yeah, good little night to sleep. Thank you for them for hosting us as well.
Oh, good stuff. I'm glad that went well on Friday, Fraser. Congratulations from us all here. We're very proud of you.
Yeah, well done, Fraser.
I've got them with me. I'll go and fetch them in a second.
Yeah, you have to show them before the end of the show. Show and tell. Yeah. Tom, how are you? All right?
I'm very well, thank you. My sporting achievements and watching don't match Fraser's or Gordon Stanley. As a wedding on the weekend, so I was ushering page boys and flower girls, but we did have the Wales v Argentina match on a big screen above us.
Excellent stuff. Well, I was at Cheltenham Races on Saturday, and I'll leave this here. Good quality racing, but £7.50 for a pint of Guinness. Unbelievable, isn't it? That really is. But it was a good afternoon. Couldn't find them.
The Irish don't.
No, exactly, they don't. No, and most of them won a lot more than I did as well. And let's just stick with local football. I'll come back to you, Fraser, because in the first hour of the show we heard from Ryan Williams, the Narberth manager, didn't we? And they had a victory over Moncton Swifts at the weekend, and that meant so much to Narberth. It's long overdue, wasn't it?
Yeah, Moncton second they did. Of course it was. They haven't won since COVID. I'm sure their last league win before that. I don't know if Gordon knows this either, but it's fair to say it's been a long time. And look, we praise them, haven't we, over this time? That's not patronising in any way. They've hit very hard times. They've hit times other clubs have gone to the wall for less, haven't they? People run into the hills. We've seen it this year. I'm not going to start digging out individual clubs again. It's happened to so many now, but it's been refreshing not to see a team suffering and going through bad results, but to see a team and a club actually stick together and fight to keep going and not take the easy option of going back down to Division 5, regrouping, and then perhaps searing through a couple of divisions and picking up a couple of cheap league titles. They've battled to stay in Division 1. It didn't work out for them. They're now battling to stay in Division 2. And actually, if you look at the table, all of a sudden they've got every chance of doing that with those 3 points. I think they're just one off safety. So, no, it's great for them. I hope it gives everyone a lift. and I hope they push on from it. And well done to everyone there who did stick through the hard times and have kept them going.
And we heard from Ryan Williams in the first hour. You can listen to that again as a podcast that will be on the website purewestradio.com to hear the first hour of the show. It was a mixture of football action as well, Gordon, locally, wasn't it? With the Division 1 matches and also the West Wales Intermediate Cup going on alongside Hakin's game. So some mixed results in Division 1. Goodwick United beat Neyland 3-1. Kilgetty 1, Clarbeston Road 1, and Fishguard Sports 6, St Ishmael's 3 was a cracker.
Yeah, St Ishmael's are having a bit of a tough time at the moment. They've had a couple of heavy defeats. They competed well on Saturday, but again they fell away, and Fishguard exploited that to pick up the 3 points. But while we're talking about league, I can see that Goodwick have picked up another 3 points now. They've gone 3 points clear at the top of the table. When you put it into perspective, Hakin have had just 4 league games, and they're having these cup games week in, week out. They're going to be playing catch up at the end of the season, and Goodwick will be hoping to put the points on the board as they steadily go along. Chris O'Sullivan, Nigel Delaney and Lee Morgan are doing a good job there in the background, and the boys, Johnny Horgan came back on Saturday and he scored a brace, so it's going to be an interesting season ahead of us.
In the West Wales Intermediate Cup, wins for Carew, Penna Robbins, Moncton, who beat St Clair's, and defeat for Tenby, Fraser. So on the whole, a pretty good Saturday for the Pembrokeshire sides.
Yeah, exactly. We've talked about this West Wales Cup now, haven't we? There's no reason for any Pembrokeshire side to have anything to fear really against any opposition, and you'd like to back a host of clubs to get through the early rounds. You know, we've won it, like I say, numerous times. We certainly featured in the final and won the tournament a few times in recent years, and before COVID kicked in as well. And I think our top sides will challenge again this time around. So there's no reason why Division 1 sides at least don't take it seriously.
Okay, local football done. Let's talk about the big national football stories, shall we? That's broken from the weekend. Cristiano Ronaldo's bombshell interview. We'll have to go to Gordon first up. As the Man United fan on the show, disappointing to hear that from Ronaldo today. We won't see it until Wednesday and Thursdays when it goes out. But some of the quotes that have come out from it today.
Yeah.
For someone who's a Manchester United legend and a legendary footballer, I think he's ruined his legacy, hasn't he?
No, I don't think he's ruined it. He hasn't helped his cause, to be honest with you. He will always be a Manchester United legend. It's a shame what's happened. There's obviously he's angling at leaving the club. We had the pre-season where he didn't turn up for the tour. We had him not coming on as a substitute. We've had various things that have been going on, and now it's come to a head. It's the World Cup break. He's jetting out to play for Portugal, and I think he's seen this as his parting shot at the manager, which is very disappointing. It's not very classy to air it out in public with Piers Morgan, which will come out on Wednesday, I believe. But there we are. In my eyes, he will always be one of the greatest footballers in the world, and that will never change. But I am disappointed with the way it's concluded, to be honest with you.
Fraser, he can't ever play for Man United again, can he, on the back of this?
No, I think it's inconceivable. I think he knows what he's doing with the timing of it. I think it's very much a parting shot in his butt. I think if he did have any intention of playing for Manchester United again, he wouldn't have done it. And I don't think United, I think, would also see this now as the chance, if that's the better word, or certainly the warning signal to let him go. So no, regardless of anyone's opinion on it, no, I think his time Manchester United is done.
And ironically, Ben, it was Garnacho who scored an injury time winner, the Argentine 18-year-old who seems to be the next up-and-coming Ronaldo. So, this player's always coming through at Manchester United and at other clubs as well, so...
But for someone who's been so good and so dedicated as a professional, Tom, that's what surprises me. And my question now is, where will he go next? And there have been a few rumours that he might go to another Premier League team. So would you take him in a Liverpool shirt, Tom?
I don't know, because particularly now he's come out and set his cards out. Cristiano Ronaldo was always that quiet athlete. That mentality was, I'm going to do the best by showing you all. He's never been the type of player to be like, I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm just going to show you how good I am. And I think he's tarnished his reputation from other managers' point of view. Why would you want to work with someone you don't know if they're going to sell their story for a big packet of cash, probably, if Piers Morgan's involved, and the impact that's going to have on the squad. It's either going to galvanise the squad, or it's going to divide the squad. It's going to divide the changing room again. And the Manchester United have only now just got to a point where they're playing together as a team, in spite of him. So the impact could be far more far-reaching. And
from someone who is a big Man United man, to do that, Fraser, at that time where actually the manager is making inroads and it is actually turning things around a bit on the pitch, it's calculated. It's wrong, and I think it's really disappointing.
I think at 38 he does still have a huge desire, isn't he, to be the best, and I think that probably comes before the club and the fact that he's been a big Manchester United man over the years, to be honest, Ben. But it's a circus that we don't need. There's a World Cup coming up, and we'll just let it pan out, I think.
Okay, we'll talk about the World Cup before the end of the show with Di Rees, who is going to be joining us ahead of heading out to Qatar. How about the autumn internationals from the weekend? Wales 20, Argentina 13. Gordon, that was a win Wales needed, right?
Yeah, we've come to the autumn series where where Wales show up and down, sort of, we're throwing in youngsters to have a game and changing people in positions. I noticed Rhys Zammit was playing a fullback on Saturday. Yeah. He had a good game as well, to be fair. And Faletau was outstanding at number 8. It just seems to be, if you put a black jersey on against Wales, we crumble. Put any other jersey on and we'll fight. And they showed that fighting spirit as well. And I'd like to say caps off to Dan Lydiot, who won't take any further part, but he's lost his dad in midweek. And for him to step out and play international rugby, and he did a great job, it's true credit to him.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. And Fraser, I don't think we should underestimate that Wales win, because Argentina obviously beat England the week before and are very much improving all the time and are a strong side nowadays, aren't they?
Yeah, it was a much needed win, and you're right, you almost said Argentina, I think, a slight favourites from the results this year. They've beaten the All Blacks twice this year, haven't they? And that result at Twickenham last Sunday. You could have the counter-argument there. There may have been a mentally draining game in Twickenham to turn that around in 6 days, but that's sometimes what this autumn series is about. But it was certainly a much-needed win for Wales, if nothing else, after the New Zealand result, and probably now will go a long way to salvaging this autumn campaign.
And also, Ben, we better mention Italy. We've given them so much criticism. They went and beat Australia. Should they be in the Six Nations now?
And a phenomenal win, that, wasn't it? Yeah. Well, I don't think any of us have said they shouldn't be. We've just spoken about promotion and relegation, haven't we?
Yeah.
Which is interesting, and it will be interesting again this weekend to see how Georgia go in Cardiff as well.
And also, Scotland nearly beat the All Blacks, didn't they?
They did, and it did make me think. Part of this with Wales against the All Blacks, it is, and we said it last week, there is some psychological stuff there, isn't there?
Yeah, I think it's over 100 years since Scotland beat them as well.
Yeah, so
it's even longer than Wales.
Yeah, which makes it difficult. Okay, listen,
it gives us a bit of comfort, actually, doesn't it?
It makes it difficult to get over it, though, doesn't it? Because at some point that run's got to end. We'll just stick with rugby before we take a break and go to our first guest, who's going to be Ryan Thomas, who's just done his 10th Ironman. He's done every single Ironman Wales that's taken place. Obviously, we had the 2 years where COVID meant it was cancelled. Just before we do, Fraser, at St David's RFC, Jazz Joyce is going to be in town later on this week, isn't she?
Yeah, exciting night planned actually on Thursday, and a scheme that's come through the Principality, I believe, a mural that's been put up on the club wall, a lovely mural actually, and it's about to be unveiled officially on Thursday. I think tickets are going, there's a crowd going down there, and Jazz Joyce, as you mentioned, also just playing the World Cup with Wales, and St David's' very own will be down to unveil it, so it'll be a good night there, sure.
Excellent stuff. So that's on Saturday. I thought Lisa Neumann, by the way, was brilliant last week on the show. And you can watch that video again. That's still on the Facebook page. The final, I don't know if any of you saw the final in the early hours of Saturday morning. New Zealand 34, England 31. Tom, you clearly did. That was some game, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I was with the bride getting ready on that morning, and we had it on the TV in the background, and so close. And for that last play, it was in their grasp.
Well, I'm going to be critical about that.
Oh,
they actually had a chance at a shot at a penalty to put it into extra time. The kicker had to kick it, but they had a penalty at goal and they decided to kick for touch, take the line out and drive and go over. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. Had they kicked their kick, possibly in extra time, who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Well, New Zealand, I think, deserve champions overall, though. They have played some great rugby in that tournament. It's been a great advert for women's rugby as well. France coming third. They beat Canada 36-0 in the third place playoff. We will take a moment. Ryan is standing by. He's going to be with us next. It is Monday evening, and it's Pure West Sport.
Eaton-Evans and Morris Solicitors have traditional